Hey everyone, Rawdawg Rory here, back with more answers to more of your awesome freaking questions. And today, Christy Martin asked, what was your biggest hurdle during your raw transition? I'd have to say for me, the biggest hurdle during my raw transition was a lot of the recipes that I would stumble across. Really awesome, and they were really inspiring. They sounded really cool. They sound like they'd be delicious. But when I would go to like source out the ingredients for them, you know, I'd go to my local health food stores, I'd go to grocery stores, whatever was around, in search of some of these exotic ingredients, and could not find them. And it was, it's like you look it up online, it's like, okay, I gotta order something from one place, something from another place. It's gonna end up costing $30 to throw together one dinner, just for the stuff you gotta get through the mail order, not to mention the fresh ingredients. So that was a bit frustrating for me when I first got started in raw foods, but I just rolled with it. I used the recipes as like a base for my inspiration, and I kind of imagined like, ooh, what taste am I going for, and what stuff can I find raw in my area or inexpensively to match that flavor and give some of the same health benefits. And that's pretty much how I overcame that hurdle, was starting to just concoct my own recipes. And you could do this too. If you see a recipe out there that really inspires you and it sounds delicious, but you look at the ingredients and it's like, what the heck is that, or where can I find this stuff? You just research that ingredient, and figure out, why are they putting that in there? What purpose does it have? Is it to improve the texture? Is it to change the flavor? Is it going for a specific flavor? And then what does that thing taste like, or what has a similar texture to that I can get locally or I can find easily, and it's accessible for me, and try it out. Do a small batch of it, see what it tastes like. If you like it, works for you, then go for it, man. That's what really helped me overcome that thing, is just concocting my own recipes. Go trust your gut. Your gut is where all this stuff's heading anyway, so it's gonna let you know, hey, that sounds good, that doesn't, and you'll figure it out, man. There's just experiment, have fun with your food. That's what I say to that one. And Christy Martin also asked, what was the hardest thing to give up, and how did I overcome it? And out of all the things that have ruined my diet, I'd say the hardest thing to give up wasn't caffeine, it wasn't soda, it wasn't junk food, which I thought it was gonna be. It was cereal. It was just freaking Cheerios with rice milk. That was the last thing to go. It was the die-hard thing. I'd have a big bowl of Cheerios with rice milk all throughout my transition. That was the last thing to go. And a lot of research I've done into that now is like starches can be addictive because they have opioids and this and that, and it's that texture, that mouthfeel to it. And I'd say the thing that really helped me kick cereal, boom, just give it the boot finally, was making my own granolas. Making my own raw granolas, and I'd use buckwheat, soaked and dehydrated buckwheat makes an awesome cereal replacement. It's crunchy, it's kind of starchy, it doesn't have a lot of fats like if you were just doing straight up nuts. But also when you do soak and dehydrate nuts, you reduce a lot of the fats and oil content of them. So it makes them lighter, and you get that crunchiness, but without a lot of heavy oils. So I would definitely recommend that if you're struggling with that, because I do hear a lot of people are struggling with kicking the cereals in the morning, and that was my issue. It's like, you need that crunchy comfort food in the morning before, to start my day, and then it'd be all raw food from then on. But just experimenting with even doing a little bowl of the raw cereal with like almond milk and a little bit of the other crap, and just like weaning away from it. I kind of did that too, and it really works. So if you're struggling with cereals, it's one of the best things I can advise you to try out. And then Nicole asked, what resources helped me or inspired me the most since going raw? And I'm gonna take that back to when I was first getting into raw foods, and I'd say the biggest, most helpful resource I found was the internet. It's amazing the information you can find online about raw foods, the recipes that people submit, the stories. All these people have amazing stories about the benefits they've had from going raw, little things that you might never even have thought of, that these people are feeling a lot better munching on raw foods. And it's just really motivational. See how other people are coping with it, see what inspires them, and to see people's awesome recipe photos and food photos. And I love sharing my stuff too. That's kind of what got inspired me to do it. I seen all these other people online sharing their stories, and I thought, this is awesome, I want to contribute to this. And I especially wanted to contribute the rest of these simple recipes that were working well for me, to help others. Like, hey, if you're struggling with some of those more complex things, give this stuff a try, it's working for me. So I say look around online, because there's tons and tons of free information. There's amazing communities out there, such as rawfood.com, and there's other ones out there as well, and just individuals too. When I very first started out in raw foods, one of the people that inspired me was Yard Snacker. He just had some amazing videos, very artfully done, beautiful photos, just really super psyched me up even more about my raw transition. And also Anthony Anderson, Raw Model, his blog, is beautiful. I was always into gardening and permaculture, organic farming, so that part of it really kept me motivated, thinking oh man, I could combine that info that I had growing up, and now I have a total new appreciation for raw foods. Just got me super psyched up and really wanting to stick with it to get the most out of both worlds. And there's things like that. And as far as books go, Rawsome by Brigitte Mars, that was just seriously one of the most amazing books that I picked up during my raw transition. And she breaks down a lot of the health benefits of the specific foods, tons of recipes, very simply put together, and it's just a really awesome read, and it really goes in depth about all the benefits of going raw. And that's what I love, and I recommend to you, look at some of the benefits. Look why does raw food rock so much? The more you look into it, the more you're gonna find, the more you're gonna be psyched up to be eating more raw foods. So it's freaking awesome. And then Nicole also asked, what is the best food recipe I've stumbled upon, and what's the worst food fail I've had? I'd say the best one I stumbled upon when I was first getting started was I started concocting my raw energy bars, grinding up the nuts and seeds and combining them with dates and making my own little raw energy bars that I can bring with me to wherever I was going, so I'd have something on hand. Back when I first got into raw foods, there was not a lot of raw food bars available anywhere near where I lived. So being able to make my own little thing to take with me as a replacement for candy bars or some other crap that I'd pick up out there would just really help me out a lot. And my worst food fail was this recipe. I can't even think of the exact name of the recipe, but it was supposed to be a curried carrot and cauliflower loaf, and it sounded delicious when I first read it, and I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. It was one of my first attempts at raw recipes, so I'm like, okay, they sound like they go good together, let's give it a shot. Made this big old thing while Amanda was at work, and I tried it. She came home, she tried it. It was not a winner, but that's it's just a learning experience. Anytime you have a recipe that comes out a total flop, just go for it. Just roll with it. Try something else new another time. You'll definitely find more things that you love than ones that you don't. So keep rolling with it. And thanks for the awesome questions, everybody. Peace out.